Okay, so this morning's design inspiration, I'm gonna upload this image onto this wine glass. So I've already gone into my Cricut design space. I've uploaded the image I'm interested in, put it on the glass. I'm just gonna pick complex and continue. I'm gonna size this the way I want it. And then I'm going to press continue. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not even aiming it right. I'm going to save this as a print then cut because I'm going to print it on the printable vinyl and then have Cricut cut it out for me. So I'm going to put save and I'm going to upload this image onto my canvas. And it uploads here. There we go. And I'm just gonna size it. I think the width should be about 2.5 inches because I don't really want it to wrap around my I don't want it to wrap around my glass too much, because that's when you start to get like wrinkles in the print. So I'm just gonna size it. I think I measured about 2.5. But I gotta adjust the height because I don't want it any more than 3 inches. So there we go. So it actually, that's the only thing about this Cricut design space. It actually made it a little smaller. But I should be able to work with that. I think that's pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to send this to my printer. I'm going to print the image out. I'm going to set up my Cricut and I will be back. Okay, so I have printed out the image that I wanted to use. I use the Cricut printable vinyl that came with my Cricut. So I'm just going to put this onto my Cricut. Let's see. Okay, so I have printed out my image on my printer. And I'm just gonna upload it into my Cricut. I used the printable vinyl that came with the printer. That came with the Cricut. So I'm just gonna load it up on the Cricut standard mat. Load it up there. Press it down. And I'm gonna go back to my Cricut design space and I'm gonna select the material. Which should be, let's see, it's not an iron-on, it should be the vinyl, it should be the printable vinyl. Yeah, here we go, printable vinyl, you see that down there? Just gonna click on that, press done. And then up here for default, I like to change it to more pressure so that it's easier for me to peel off the image. So now I'm going to go to my Cricut and I'm just going to upload my paper here. I am terrible with this camera. I got to get better at this for my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm going to just press the load button. And the Cricut will kind of do its thing. It will look for the image. And I've noticed that sometimes I will upload it and it will not fully go onto the paper. So you need to pay attention because it has started to cut up here at times. And you don't want that because it'll mess up your image. So make sure that it's loaded. When the little Cricut sign pop up, you press the button and away we go. You just let it do its thing. What it's doing is it's looking for that black border. That black border tells it where to start cutting. So the Cricut is just going to scan that. And if you're wondering where I got this Cricut, if you are a designer and you are into things like this, then you already know about Cricut. But for people just getting started like myself, I got this from Joann's Fabrics. I caught a good bundle deal. So it was about $250, but it came with quite a bit of vinyl and paper, instructions, in the Cricut design space. So you see on my computer, it says that it's 100% done. And then you will get the load and unload button will start to light up. You just unload your paper. And I am going to, I will be back because it's hard for me to hold my camera and peel the image off. But I do want to show you how to peel the image off. So let me just get my camera set up. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this because I do have a tripod, but of course my son, who I affectionately call the boy got a hold to it, thought it was a nice toy, and messed up the handle to it, so it's all jacked up. I gotta get another one. So it's super easy. If you're weeding letters and things, you might want to use your weeding tool, but for this I don't believe I need to use my weeding tool. So really all I have to do is and you know what, I should have prior to this, but I'm learning, this is definitely a new thing for me, is that I should have cut my paper, because this paper is expensive and you do not want to waste paper. So I should have cut my paper prior to putting it on the mat, because I definitely don't want to waste this paper. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm just going to peel it off and cut it. And yeah, so I don't waste this good paper. This is good paper. Okay, there we go. And so now I think I will use my weeding tool just to kind of lift it up from the backing. So I'm going to lift that up from the backing and pull this off of my image. And I know my nails are jacked up, but guess what? The nail salons are not open, and y'all know that. So cut a chick some slack. Painted them myself, and it got all chipped up because I work, honey. Okay, so now I am just going to what I'm gonna have to do is get my transfer paper, put my transfer paper on top of this, and of course I should have had it already, but like I said, this is all new to me, so I am just learning as I go along, and hopefully you guys are learning with me. But I will be right back. I have to get the transfer paper. Okay, I have my transfer tape, and I am just going to cut out enough to cover that image. Because your transfer tape is what's going to help it stick to the glass. So I'm just going to peel the transfer tape off of its backing. And while I do that, I will be back because this transfer tape is sticky. Okay, so I just sized up my transfer tape, and I'm just going to place this right over my image here. I'm going to use my little scraper to adhere that to the image. And then I'm just going to remove this from our mat. I'm going to remove this from the mat. There we go. And then we're going to move on to our glass. Now I selected this wine glass, and I have already cleaned it with some rubbing alcohol. And I hope you guys can see it because, like I said, the boy messed up my thing. So we're just gonna put this image onto the glass, and we're gonna get it to stick, and then I will be back with the finished product. Okay, here's my glass. Here is my image that has been weeded away from the backing, and now it's just on the transfer tape. And you're going to be very careful. You're going to pick where you want to put your image, because wherever you place it is where it's going to stick. And like I said, I'm new at this, and I have had some problems sticking my images on in the past. So just gonna stick that right on there. You see how it will crinkle, but that's just the transfer tape, is not the actual image. And if it do crinkle, sometimes you can pull it apart. I did the super strong transfer tape the one day, and ooh, baby, let me tell you, it stuck on there and I couldn't get it off. I had to trash the whole project, but that was literally like my first project, and you live and you learn, and baby, listen, I didn't do that again. So then you, hopefully your image, which it's not, but you could take your weeding tool and just kind of separate it from the backing there to kind of get it, you know, its first stick on there, and then kind of peel the paper away. You see? And now my cute little nurse is on her glass. Look at there. I'm gonna personalize it, add some other little bling and stuff to it, but that is super cute. I hope you guys can see that. And yeah,